Hello. So I created this piece about a week ago using a technique that I had never seen used before. Uh, I put it up on one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and everybody really wanted to see how it was made. So I'm going to share how I made it. I'm going to use a slightly different color palette. By slightly, I mean completely. It will have black and white. The color palette I'm going to use uh, pearl white, pearl black, orange yellow, copper, don't know how to say it, phthalo blue, metallic blue, and cerulean blue. I do like working with blues and oranges. I think they make a good color combination. Uh, I have two metallics and two pearlescents, and then three plain regular colors. So I'm not going to show you how I mix it because I don't think that matters. I will say I'm going to mix approximately an ounce and a half of each of the seven colors. And I will be mixing 1 drop of treadmill silicone, hard mixing it into each one. So I will be putting it in when I put my pouring medium. And the pouring medium I'm using is Floetrol. So Floetrol creates cells. The treadmill lubricant creates cells. And I have two other items that also make cells, but I will show you those when it comes time to pour. So I'm going to pause this and mix my paint and see how close to this thing I can get. If I can get another one that looks pretty much exactly like it, or very similar, I will be uploading this and you'll be seeing it. And if I get a big blob that looks like a turd on canvas, well, you'll never see this video anyway. So, see you soon. Alright, so now I've mixed the paint. As I said, I went with 7 colors. And this is where it starts to get I don't know, a little different. This is how I pour for this particular one. This is a this is a condiment bottle. Buy them at Walmart. I bought these ones at Walmart. I suppose you can get them anywhere. They're nice and very squishy, which is important later on. So I need to pour them into this bottle. I don't stir. I'm not going to be doing any mixing. I'm going to be doing like you would for a tree ring. So I'm going to pour right into here. It's just going to flow along the bottom and puddle up in relatively separated colors. Before I pour, however, I am going to give it a blast of silicone blaster lubricant. I'm going to try to just spray 1 or 2 relatively healthy doses. I'm going to try to do this on camera. One of these days I'll get some kind of nice holder. So nothing major, just give it a good shake. And that should be enough. As I mentioned earlier, this particular painting had a ton of cells, so I'm trying to get those same cells. Now, in addition, I actually used to have 2 bottles of that same silicone blaster. I took one of them and just sprayed it inside this glue container so that I wasn't using any aerosol or the propellant or putting any air bubbles in there, because when you spray that, it does put air bubbles. You can kind of see them. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but there are air bubbles in there. That does help with cells, but I wanted to have them not as well. So I'm going to put 1 drop of this in each one of these. Now, I've already put the treadmill lubricant in here and stirred vigorously. I did it at the same time that I was mixing the Floetrol and water to get my paint the way I wanted them. So now I'm going to put 1 drop in each of the cups of the blaster spray, and then I'm going to fill this up. So I'm going to pause it again, and when I come back next, it'll be hopefully pouring time. Okay, so I got it all mixed, and it looks like I came up a little light, honestly. I think I'm probably sitting at about 6.5, 7 ounces, and I was hoping for 10. I'm going to be doing this on a 12 by 12 canvas. I'm going to go ahead and pour it and just see what happens. I did take the paint, it was leaning that way, so I stood it up this way, and that's how it's sitting. When I pour, I'm actually going to take it that way and pour around from there. So now I need to mount the camera, and then I'll pour. Alright. So everything's in focus. As I said, I'm going to turn this. And this is the part that I've never seen anybody do. I'm actually going to just pour by squirting out of this bottle. I'm going to start in the center and just do a spiral. Basically until I run out of paint. So let's see how it goes. Try to make the rings touch each other. But if I don't, not that big a deal. This paint will spread out. I guess I did have enough paint because I have more left over than I did the first one I did. The idea is to take it right to the edge and try not to go over the edge. Basically let the paint sort of pull itself off all edges altogether. Now I've gone over the edge in a couple places. If you want an exact science, look up math. So, alright, this paint point, I'm just going to kind of drag all the edges, all the corners. The first one I torched. See how this one looks. See if I'm torching this one as well. I may not. Obviously, you can use whatever colors you choose. That's what makes this hobby or profession, I guess, depending on what exactly you do. That's what makes this so fun. You can do it however you like to. Make sure all my sides and corners are covered. So, first time I really was just messing around, so I wasn't measuring. Not that I'm a measurer, but just kind of winging it. And this time is a little more measured. Like I say, approximately 1/2 ounce of each color for, I don't understand how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ounces plus a half of each should be 10.5 ounces. But in this thing, it sure looked like it was only about 7 ounces. Whatever, I guess. Maybe I miss... maybe it's not a 12-ounce container. I don't know. I don't know if I should pour it, tilt it, or not. I think I'm going to get a toothpick. I like dragging with toothpicks. If I was doing a pull, this would be a really neat pull, pulling out of that center, but it wasn't what I was planning on doing, so... It's not something I did last time. I don't like the way it looks. I don't know what to do. I'm sure everybody understands what I say when the idea is to tinker and tinker and tinker until it's totally trash. Chunk of something there. Ew. So, I don't want to create trash. I'm going to go ahead and try torching it. Oh. Torching made a big difference. I use a Bernzomatic propane torch. It's like $10 at Walmart. I feel like I just want to tilt it just a little bit. Just like that, eh? You'll forgive me, I hope I've got a bit of a cold. So, that's the technique. It did work the second time. I'm going to finish doing a little cleanup here. I'm not going to record all that. First one was this. And the second one was this. Again, very similar results. I didn't get quite the mixing of colors I did in the first one. I wonder if I poured it from the side or something. But the technique is there. I don't know. I call it the spiral squeeze technique. And if nobody's ever done this before, then that is what we shall call it moving forward. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, hit them up in the comments section below. Other than that, I'll see you next time.